Hi, my name is Angelica Camino, and today I'll be talking about the Hawaiian Islands with a focus on the Big Islands. How the Hawaiian archipelago was formed? Well, it consists of the 8 main Hawaiian islands in the southeast, the Ni'ihau, Kauai, Oahu, Molokai, Lanai, Kaho'olawe, Maui, and Hawaii, also known as the Big Islands. The islands are part of a larger volcanic chain that stretches across the North Pacific Ocean known as the Hawaiian Emperor Seamount Chain, which you can see in this graph right here. It is composed of volcanic mountains that have erupted from the hot spots beneath the Pacific Plate, and over time, the islands shift due to the movement of the Pacific plates, and the plates still continue to move until this day at a rate of 4 centimeters per year. So if you're born in Hawaii in 1950, then you are now 13.7 feet farther northwest than you were in 1950, which is pretty interesting. Well, how were volcanoes formed? They are formed from hotspots, which are stationary hot regions of the earth. Heat from the center of the earth melts the mantle rock, creating hot magma, and hot magma erupts through the Earth's thin crust. And this is how the volcanoes formed. But over time, as the Pacific Plate moves over the hot spot, it moves the old volcanoes away so that new volcanoes can form over that same hot spot. And there are 6 volcanoes on the Hawaiian archipelago, the Kilauea, the Mauna Loa, Hualalai, Mauna Kea, Kama e Huakanaloa, and the Haleakala. The Kilauea is the youngest and the most active volcano. The Mauna Loa is the largest volcano on Earth. The Hualalai is the third most active volcano on Hawaii. The Mauna Kea is the highest volcano on Hawaii and is the only known Hawaiian volcano to have glaciated. And the Kama e Huakanaloa, formerly known as the Loihi Seamount, is the only active Hawaiian volcano that is submerged in the ocean, located about 22 miles below sea level. And so for these 5, they are all located on the Big Island of Hawaii, but Haleakala is the only active volcano that is not located on Hawaii. It is located on Maui and is the least active volcano. Kilauea is the youngest volcano, and its nearby towns are Volcano, Paua, Kalpana, and Mountain View. And because it is the most active, it's the most the highest threat volcano. And on May 3, 2018, it had destroyed an estimated of $236.5 million of public infrastructure. The Mauna Loa is the second most active, and its nearby towns are Hilo, Waikoloa, Ocean View, Captain Cook, Miloli, Na'aleu, and Pala. And on June 1st, 1950, the lava had reached nearly 6 miles an hour, and it reached 2 dozen structures and cut Highway 11 in 3 pieces, burying over 1.6 kilometers of that road. And it even destroyed part of the village of Ho'okenamauka. Mauna Kea, their nearby towns is Hili, Kona, and Waikoloa. Kama e Huakanaloa is an underwater seamount, so it doesn't have any nearby towns, but the closest one is Volcano Hilo and Paua. Haleakala, its nearby towns is Kula, Hana, Kihei, Makaua, and Pukalani. But these 3 volcanoes are pretty much dormant, so they're not much of a threat to those towns. But speaking of threats, due to volcanic activity, the state has issued policies for safety reasons. One of them is strategic land use planning, which reduces risk from natural disasters by identifying high hazard areas and basically saying you can't build infrastructure here, but if you were to build infrastructure here, they have to be able to withstand expected hazards of strong wind forces, hurricanes, and earthquake swarms. The Hawaii Emergency Management Agency is a state agency that works with federal and local agencies to tackle natural and human-caused disasters. They examine damages through surveys, and they advise the governor on whether to declare an emergency and to seek federal relief funds. The Interagency Volcano Plan. This emphasizes the three key agencies on the island: the Hawaii County Civil Defense, Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, and the U.S. Geological Survey Hawaiian Volcano Observatory. And they all work together to promote efficient emergency responses and effective recovery and safety for all communities. Some of the threats that come from volcanoes. One of them is VOG, and is basically water vapor, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide. It smells like fireworks or burning match, and it is released into the air, but it's very bad for health. And you cannot breathe it in because it can cause asthma, sore throat. It can also cause watery eyes and the flu. And when the sulfur acid ends up in like water droplets, it can strip lead off of paint, nails, and metal. So it can wash it up into drinking water systems, which is really bad. But some positive impacts of volcanoes include the weathering of rock volcanoes, which can create fertile soil; geothermal energy, which takes energy from the heat of volcanoes and turns it into more sustainable energy. Also, copper, gold, silver, lead, and zinc are found in the magmas of expired volcanoes. So that's very helpful. And negative impacts include lava, ashfall, earthquakes. It can harm human life, but also harm animal life, especially aquatic ecosystems where there's an increase in acidity in the water, which can kill the aquatic life. Also, carbon dioxide emissions are very bad. Greenhouse gases are very bad, and it can be released into the atmosphere and contribute to climate change. So, in conclusion, there may be negative effects to these volcanoes, but more or less it can be managed and monitored by the agencies that the state of Hawaii has for the safety of all citizens. But in general, volcanoes are a majestic beauty of nature and should be protected because it tells the rich history of not only the native Hawaiians, but of human interactions with nature. And I believe we can learn a lot about how the earth was formed and how humans interact with the earth. We can learn a lot about that just from looking at these volcanoes alone. So truly, they contribute so much more to the earth and to science and to nature more than we think they do. So we should appreciate them more and really strive to protect them. Thank you. And these are my sources.